Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and this time we have the pleasure of watching Cheburashka Genovna playing in the Tier 5 American turreted tank destroyer, the T67. Cheburashka obviously really likes this vehicle. Look, damn Yankee on the side, a Wasp, and 3 marks of excellence on the gun barrel. You are going to be seeing a masterclass of step heading. Now why is that? That's because the T67 is an absolute monster of a low tier vehicle that is probably one of the most popular tanks in the game for players that want to kind of inflate their stats a little bit, you know? And why is that? Because obviously WN8 is how well you play compared to the World of Tanks population, because it's vehicle based. The kind of WN8 that you're going to get in one tank is going to be different to another vehicle because they're vehicle specific, right? So because WN8 is how well you play compared to the rest of the population, that means that you kind of want to be playing better than the rest of the population. And so that means that tanks that do have exceptional statistics at low tiers are a great opportunity to show off your skills and get insane WN8 scores without even really having to be that exceptional, frankly. And so that's why the T67 has become one of the step pedders' dreams, right? So what are the statistics of this tank that just make it so damn special? Because it doesn't have any armor. With only 21mm of armor at the front, well, the vehicle has a power to weight ratio of over 30. That's as good as, say, an AMX CDC. And it doesn't really have bad ground resistances, and its top speed limit is over 60 kilometers an hour, and it has fairly okay traverse speed for a tank destroyer as well. So this tank has pretty much the mobility of a light tank, but it has a fantastic gun considering how flexible the vehicle is. A 76mm with 128mm of penetration with 115 alpha damage. This is the same kind of gun that you would get on the old school Chaffee, now really the T67. And if you decide to fire premium ammunition on this vehicle, then it goes up to 177mm of penetration, which is just absolutely monstrous. By the way, did I say T67? I think it's 37, right? The Tier 6 American light tank. Let me correct myself there before you do it for me in the comments down below. So the DPM of this tank is also rather nice. Fair enough, not the biggest amount of alpha damage, not the largest penetration on the gun, but it just certainly does seem to stack up. And the aim time is also excellent as well. 1.7 seconds aim time, and the gun dispersion values aren't even that bad, which kind of allows this tank to play like it's a light tank with the kind of flexibility that you would get of a medium tank, except the awful turret traverse that you're seeing here. But a good player will be thinking about turning their turret very much before they need to with the T67. It's one of the key aspects of the tank that you will have to learn if you want to play this tank exceptionally. So Cheburashka has already managed to pick up a couple of kills, a casual 839 damage. Not bad for a Tier 5 vehicle. I mean, most Tier 5 tanks, this would already be a monstrous game to have 839 damage at Tier 5, and you would feel like you have pulled your weight at least. But Cheburashka is going to have to do a hell of a lot more in this game. And also, you might think Cheburashka is a bit of a funny name, right? Cheburashka Genovna. And that's actually because it's a Russian cartoon. A Cheburashka is this cute little animal that no one knows truly what it is. We're going to put up a picture of it just here. Cheburashka is a bit of a lonely animal because no one knows what it is, and apparently it's the only one out there. And it's the cartoon about really it trying to find itself, and also, you know, trying to make some friends along the way. It's very cute. You should go and check it out if you want to know all about where this name has come from. And also the Genovna is kind of like a fatherized name of the crocodile, I'm led to believe. Thank you to Pepperdy for that little bit of information there. So Cheburashka's team has absolutely wilted away here. Now he is alone with a T82 HMC. Is that a new Tier 4 artillery piece? Yes, it is. When they changed those tank destroyers to being self-propelled guns. Cheburashka is now going to show you why this tank is so damn sneaky. That Soma is probably running around with maybe like a 50% crew, maybe a 75% crew. He didn't even see him. Cheburashka is now going to be able to spot this KV-1 in a second when he decides it's safe. He's going to activate his binoculars and his camo net, and frankly this KV-1 is just not going to see him. Wow, he has got Eagle Eye on his commander. That is how experienced he is in this tank, and he knows that the turret ring on the KV-1 is damaged. And unfortunately, this KV-1 is pretty much as blind as a bat. Because this tank doesn't only have mobility, it doesn't only have a rapid-fire 76mm, it doesn't only have a fully traversable turret on a tank destroyer, it is also pretty damn sneaky. And so that means running this kind of a meta where you're using binoculars, a camo net, and probably a gun rammer is an excellent way to remain hidden while still picking apart your enemies one by one. So Cheburashka is now finding himself in a 1 versus 7. I'm not sure if the KV-1 died there before his artillery went down. But either way, let's see how he's able to handle this situation. So he's getting shot at by a Marder 38T. And that is likely a tank that has excellent view range. And the Marder 38T, he's an experienced player. He's played 1,000 games. He seems to have 56% wins. He knows what he's doing. But with the camo net activated, it doesn't look like he is managing to get the vision on Cheburashka anymore. He uses his repair kit. Oh dear, disaster as he manages to track him again, setting him on fire and burning down that Marder 38T, which I believe is a tier 4 German tank destroyer. Yes, it is, right? We managed to see it just the other day. Remember it picking up the 14 kills dubiously in my World of Tanks cheating video. But let's not think even close that Cheburashka is doing that here. He is playing flawlessly so far, having picked up 6 kills already and 2,000 damage. But he's going to have to pick up another 6 kills, another Top Gun, if he wants to secure the win for his team. Now, I really like the plays here. He didn't want to go after the PZ-25 there, the Panzer T-25. Cheburashka, remember, wasn't spotted and he was last seen driving off in this location, so it's quite likely the T-25 thinks that he's around these kind of rocks over here. Unspotted, he is going to make his way over towards the cap circle to try and defend it. Now remember, on encounter it takes twice as long to cap, so he has had quite a long time to be able to get over here. The Stug thought that he might be coming from the north. Oh, unfortunately puts one into the dirt there. One thing you do have to worry about on this tank, however, is the ammunition that it carries. Fair enough, Cheburashka has managed to pull off 2,000 damage so far, but he has only 18 rounds left to take out 6 tanks on the enemy team, so he's got to be careful. Now, a lot of players can learn a hell of a lot here from Cheburashka. Did you see the way that as he was spotted, he drove away, and he's going to now trick the Stug into thinking that he's going to come from the north again. You see how the Stug is looking for where he was last spotted and where he thought that he would be driving towards, and that allows him to sneak off a couple of shots. Unfortunately, low rolls. Those 2 low rolls mean that he has to put an additional shot into the Stug 3G on the enemy team, and remember, every round counts. Now he's only got 15 rounds left to take out those 5 tanks. Now he's being chased by an M3 Stuart. Hopefully he's going to be able to turn the turret around and engage that sneaky little light tank behind him. Luckily he's only on 3% of his hit points, and so he should be able to take him down. Just one into him, on the move like a total boss, with a bit of help from auto aim there, and he secures his 8th kill, 2,300 damage, now reducing the odds to far more in his favor. In a 4 versus 1, and here comes a Marder 2 on the enemy team. One into him, the Marder 2 misses, big mistake. That tier 3 German tank destroyer taken out of the game. But finally, the Panzer T-25 has caught up with Cheburashka and is trying to flank him from the south. So he decides, let's try and create some distance. Why not use that fantastic specific power ratio on this tank? Why not use the fact that it drives around at 60 kilometers an hour to re-engage the T-25 from where he will have the advantage? Remember, the T-25 has a decent old, I think, 75mm gun, which is likely to remove the remnants of Cheburashka's hit points rather quickly. He's probably going to lose his health in 2 shots. But the T-25 is on full health with 610 hit points, but don't worry about that now as he finds a T-18, shuts it down in the side. That thing used to be the tier 2 American self-propelled gun, right? Now, in fact, it is the tier 3 American tank destroyer. Okay, I'm learning new things every day. Gosh. Okay, I really need to get back into low tiers a little bit more, hey? But hopefully you guys are enjoying this replay so far with Cheburashka now on 10 kills, 2,500 damage, but the T-25 manages to spot him. A nice little bit of a wiggle there, and that dissuades the T-25 from putting in the first shot. And oh, bit of a risky play there, but a nice shot. That's the first round in. Looks like he's going to have to hit him another 4 or 5 times to be able to take him down. No, a ricochet. You've only got 8 rounds left and you've still got 2. No, stop missing. Oh, Cheburashka, don't panic right now. gosh. Oh, I can imagine the pressure that's on him. But now he's only got 8 rounds to take out that T25. He's likely going to have to shoot it another 5 times. And he's also got to deal with a tier 5 self-propelled gun, the Grille, on the enemy team. Now, if you heard a little bell there, you might be wondering what that is. That's actually the perk Intuition. What Intuition allows you to do is, some of the time, it allows you to switch to a different type of shell without reloading. But don't think you can just like hammer 1, then hammer 2, then hammer 1, then hammer 2, and it will reload faster for you. It's only if you're already reloaded. But it can be quite useful. But I think it's definitely one of the skills that... I mean, when I say it can be quite useful, there are some opportunities where maybe you're in a T54 and you wouldn't be able to pen with a standard round and you need to load a heat round. But generally, when you're in that kind of a situation, you'd pull back around the corner, or you'll just fire and hope and then be able to reload the shell, right? Obviously, Cheburashka has a very skilled crew if he's able to have certain kinds of perks like that. So he's managed to sneak up on the Grille. He puts one in, 115 damage. Hopefully he kills him with the next shell. Oh no, leaving him on just a little bit of hit points. But luckily, good marksmanship shuts down the tier 5 German self-propelled gun with 3 shots. And now he has 5 remaining to be able to deal with this T25, who has been chasing him round the entire game. Luckily, it looks like Cheburashka managed to spot the T25 without getting spotted himself. That's a good bit of information. He's obviously got a very good camo crew here. He's able to spot his enemies without getting spotted himself, and that is damn useful. Oh, why didn't you activate your binoculars? I think if you'd activated your binoculars there, you would have been able to spot the T25 running away from you. But okay, I can understand that you feel like there's 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the game. You need to hunt down this T25. I don't think he's going to be using coated optics instead of a gun rammer on this tank. I'll be very surprised if he was. So really, with the kind of equipment loadout that he's got, he needs to be just waiting just for that little extra second to activate his binoculars to sometimes give him extra view range. But who am I to query what Cheburashka is doing here, as they are on 11 kills, 2,890 damage in a tier 5 game, and they're about to try and see if they can use their 5 remaining rounds to take out an equal tiered German premium medium tank on the enemy team. So I like what Cheburashka is doing here again, using the mobility of the tank to be constantly trying to get funky angles on the opponents, but that T25 manages to spot him. He's sitting right at the back of the cap circle? How absolutely bizarre. Usually tanks won't be sitting at the back here, and that enables him to spot Cheburashka. Usually tanks will be sitting around here, and I would have put a lot of money on him probably hiding in this kind of a position behind the Stug 3, or alternatively being here and looking that way. But then again, considering that he was last spotted towards the south, it is more likely that the T25 would have been going towards the south. It's more likely the T25 would have been looking towards the south, and so that's why Cheburashka went towards the north to try and flank him and shoot him from an ill-prepared area, such as how he did to this Stug 3G earlier on in the game. So Cheburashka needs to be able to try and find this T25. The T25 is still trying to cap, even though there's no chance of him being able to do so, as he needs 2 minutes and 14 seconds to cap. He probably doesn't realize that this is an encounter rather than a standard game. If this was a standard game, he would have enough time to cap, but on an encounter, it's increased to double, so he won't be able to do that. However, Cheburashka is deciding that he's going to go in. Remember, 5 rounds left. He's loaded his APCR rounds. He needs to probably penetrate every single shot. There's the first one into the side of the T25. 4 left. Third one in, 3 left. Oh, he needs higher rolls here. That's a pretty good one. 119. Last round, is he going to do it? Headshot, yes, great stuff. 65 damage into the T25, taking away all of his hit points, securing his 12th kill for 3,393 damage. What an insane carry this was, even if it was in a stat padder's dream. So what a result here for Cheburashka, showing you why the T67 is a force to be reckoned with, and in the hands of a skilled player, probably one of the best tanks tier for tier in the game. So let's just take a quick look at the post-game stats. Cheburashka picked up the Faiden's medal for destroying the last enemy vehicle with his final remaining shell, a Pool's medal for his 12 kills, a high caliber medal, unsurprisingly, for doing 3,393 damage. at tier 5. He also got a defender medal, doing over 100 base defense points, and also picked up the one that everyone wants, the Kolobanov's medal, for standing alone against at least 5 opponents. It's not often you have to do this much damage in a T67, so it's no wonder that Cheburashka had to fire all of those premium rounds that he probably keeps in the vehicle for when he's in a tier 7 game, but still managed to make a small profit. The main thing that I loved about this replay was the way that Cheburashka put on a masterclass showcase of how to use knowledge of when you're spotted, as well as changing the direction of your tank to be able to outplay your opponents and enable you to get free shots into them. Cheburashka, thank you so much for uploading this replay on the replays.QuickyBaby.com website. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like down below. It really helps the channel out. And let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite stet pedding tanks? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.